Hiya, I'm going to show you this really glam makeup look today. Catherine and Summer, you had both asked me to talk you through my favourite things from Peaches and Cream. So this is a full Peaches makeup look. I hope you enjoy. As always, everything I've used is listed in the description of the video, so if you click to make it full screen, the title will come up along the top, click the arrow next to it and a full list of everything will drop down. Now, Peaches don't do any complexion products, so I'm going to go in with my original CC cream, and this is going to be on a PC 18 brush, and I'm going to quickly do my eyebrows. And now let's carry on with the complexion. Now, Ruby, you asked me recently for a recommendation of a really great cream bronzer. I'm going to show you the Peaches Cream Contour. Now, I'm going to use a Bobbi Brown angled face brush to very gently pat this on. I'm aware that I really want to powder my complexion, but I don't want to do that until I've got all of my creams on. So I'm just going to pat a little bit of this cream contour shade. This is the shade Original, but there are deeper shades than this. And I'm taking this in a really light layer just through the hairline. Now, as you can see, this gives a really sheer wash if you use a soft touch and a soft brush. But if you wanted a really, dramatic, prominent contour, you can achieve anything from really soft and fresh right the way up to really sculpted when you use this. Now, the great thing about using such a soft touch is that it's much easier to build something up than it is to try and take it down if you've gone too far. So even though that takes a little bit of patience, building it bit by bit just means you've got complete control over, how strongly that comes out. Okay, I'm going to take a little bit of translucent powder on a PC03 brush, pretty much just down the centre of the face. Now, all of the Peaches pigments come loose, and you've got the option, if you want to mix a bit of a paste, you can mix pigment drops into them. I'll show you that in a moment maybe. But for now, I'm going to pick up a little bit of pigment. This is Wild West, a lovely chocolatey brown. And because they're loose, you want to really work them into the brush. I'm using the lid to kind of pick up the product here and work it in. And I'm going to start, I've tapped off the excess. I'm going to start by taking this through the socket of the eye. Same on the other side. And as we can see, that's obviously really strong. So I'm going to go in with a PC30 and very gently buff the edges of that colour to begin with. Then I'm going to go back in, just tickle a tiny little bit more on. And now I'm going to continue to frame this eye. So this is the PC07, a tiny little pencil brush. I'm now going to add a bit more depth and definition to underneath and the corners. It's a bit easier for me to show you this technique if I'm not talking while I'm doing it. So ultimately, I'm lining the lower lash line, going over myself on the upper lash line, and then adding a little bit of a deep corner with this same colour that I can keep buffing out and building back in to create depth in the corner that still has a blended finish. Okay, as you can see, we've got a really dramatic shape here. I'm going to keep us like this for a second. The first thing I'm going to do is add a bit of eyeliner. Now, the Peaches liners are so creamy. I am going to go in with the shade Dynasty and line the waterline. See how that's just pulled all of those coppers together and it's sitting really well with that blue. Then I'm going to go in and add a nice reflective creamy colour on the lid before I blend this out. Okay, to kick us off, I'm going to go in with Most Wanted, which is a shimmery gold. Okay, I'm picking this up with a flat brush. Then I'm going to really press it into the brush using the lid of the pigment. I know this might look really boring, but I really think that these small things are the difference between feeling overwhelmed that it's loose and like knowing exactly how to nail it. I'm now going to press this directly onto the eyelid. Now, it would be disingenuous of me to tell you about Peaches without showing you Gatsby. This is the most incredible loose glitter. I'm not even going to say anything about it. I'm just going to show you what happens. How amazing is that? Now, it is all down my face. We should have done the base first. I didn't really know what colours I was going to go for. If I knew I was doing all of these glitters, I would have always done my base first. But, you know, you live and you learn. We'll sort that in a minute. I'm going to go back in with the PC30. Now, the nice thing about these pigments being just like loose, dry, not mixed with anything, is that they have been sat there for ages, but it's not going to be any harder to blend now. So I'm going to take the tip of this brush and soften the edge of this brown. Now I'm going to go back in with that copper and just deepen these outer corners again. If anything spills, don't worry. We're going to sort the base very soon. Okay, I'm just going to take a clean brush and wipe away the majority of the drop down. We'll sort that in a minute, but let me just finish the eyes while I'm here. I'm now going to go in with a black Cleopatra liner and line that top lash line. Okay, I'm going to get loads of mascara on. This is the It Cosmetics Superhero. And then just while I'm here, I haven't done too badly with that drop down, but there's enough that I just want to do a little tidy up. So I'm going back in with the same CC cream on a PC18, slightly smaller brush, and I'm just going to buff over that immediate under eye area and just make sure I've skimmed over the appearance of any little glitter spills. And I can go back in a moment and re-add a little bit of the kind of warmth and a bit of blush and that kind of stuff. But we're going for a full glam today, so I don't think a little bit of extra foundation is going to do any harm. Okay, lashes. I'm going to go in with the Peaches number 2s. Going to trim them down a little, add in some Doll Beauty glue. And while I wait for that to go tacky, I'm just going to powder that extra CC cream that I just put on. Okay, number 1, dropping onto the lid. One of the things that's really handy about the Peaches lashes is that the band is really flimsy. So if you're new to lashes or you're not too confident with them, I think you'll get on really well with these. Then I'm going to revisit this cream contour. Add a little touch of Tutti Fruitti cream blush. This is definitely one of my faves. Now I'm going to show you Pearl Pigment. This is one of my favourite Peaches products, if not my favourite. It's a lovely opalescent highlighter that looks white in the pan, but just gives like a milky, rosy, iridescent sheen. It's suitable for all complexions because it's more of like an opalescent wash, but it never shows up on the camera. So I really hope that you end up being able to see a bit of this, but just managing expectations. Oh, actually, that's kind of showing up, isn't it? It's such a shame, and it's such a good lesson in terms of the camera versus real life. Like on the camera, I actually think that looks really heavy and not nice, but in real life, it's lovely. So it just goes to show, don't believe everything you see, but at least the nice thing about these videos is that you can kind of say those things, can't you? Okay, another must-have are the lip liners. I'm going to go in with Borderline. I feel like you've just seen firsthand how creamy they are, but another thing I'd point out about all the Peaches liners is that they're very brown. So if you want that brown base that doesn't spill over into pink or warm, and you want that really kind of cool brown, that's what all of the liner colours are. I'm going to go in now with a bit of Babe lip gloss. And there you go. There are some of my Peaches favourites, but do you know what? You actually can't go wrong. Look for the colours that you gravitate towards. The brushes are fantastic. Everything works really well and is really affordable. So even if you're looking to try something new and push yourself out of your comfort zone, you're not going to have to break the bank to do that. Another thing I wanted to ask you, I've had loads of requests about Trini makeup. Now, I've used lots of Trini makeup in previous videos, so if you do have a look back, there will very much be a lot of those. In particular, I think if I've called it it's something to do with cream makeup, there's definitely going to be examples. But if there's anyone that you want to see a full face of that one brand, and if this is interesting, let me know and I can do it for you, because I've got a mixture of everything in my kit really. But I hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching. Have a lovely weekend and I'll chat to you again very soon.